This is the all-new Kia EV3. In my opinion, one of the most complete new electric cars on sale. And in this video, we're going to learn a bit more about it. I'm Daniel Acthouse, and you're watching Daniel Drives. So I've been driving this car now for about a week, and it's really surprised me in a pleasant way. So going back a few months ago, I was actually talking to somebody who owned one of these cars, and they said they were really impressed with it and they'd really bonded with it and thought it was a genuinely good car. So I got in contact with Kia, and they very, very kindly provided me with one. Now, already last Friday, I took it on a little adventure, which you can watch on the channel. It's actually last week's video. We took it to the Lake District, and we managed just under 300 miles on one charge motorway mileage. It's really, really impressive. It's comfortable, it's quick, it's efficient, it's got nice tech inside, and this is the base model. I just can't believe it. Right, let's get into the details. I've whipped out the all-new Daniel Drives book of notes. It's basically just a bigger notebook, so I've got more facts to educate you. So there's three trim levels available I'll tell you about. There's the Air, the GT line, and then the GT line S being the higher ranking model. This is the Air, and genuinely, if you've ordered an Air or you're considering buying an Air EV3, you will not be lacking any technology, because I've not once drove this car and gone, oh, I wish I had that, I wish I had this. It's got everything you could possibly need. The GT line and GT line S do have a lot of really amazing features, but don't feel put off by the entry level. This is really good. So the EV3, it features what's called, I think this is a bit of waffle really, but it's quite cool anyway, the digital tiger face, whatever that means in Kia language, with these star map headlights. Now I do really like the headlight design, all LED as well, and the headlights are really good. I've done a lot of driving at night time with this car, on the motorway, around country lanes. You've got your automatic high beam and everything, and I do think they look really good. And these star map headlights apparently are inspired by the lines used to draw constellations in the sky together. Now, if that isn't PR waffle, I don't know what is. But I do think it looks good anyway. It's nice and modern, but it's not too striking and not too bold. It fits in. And there's a range of colour options. There's white pearl, midnight black, sunset orange, shale grey, lithium silver, pistachio green, and this, frost blue. And I do really like this frost blue. I actually think the pistachio green is the entry-level colour, which is also, in my opinion, one of the best colours, so I'd probably go for that. But this blue is lovely. It looks nice on camera. People have really complimented this for being quite a nice pastel shade of blue. But we'll walk around to the side of the car, because at last, this is a chunky car. For reference, it's got the same wheelbase dimensions as a Kia Sportage, so it's kind of a, what is it, a compact SUV type of shape. But this isn't coupe-esque at all. It's quite boxy, quite utilitarian, and it makes use of the space really well. It's got a lot of space in the back seats, we'll come to those later, and lots of space in the boot as well. But it just looks really futuristic. You've got kind of hidden door handles that pop out like this. You've got massive bulbous mirrors, so you've got good visibility, none of that camera nonsense. And door handles as well, which seems to be a bit of a trend of the past 5 years in modern car design. I do think they're quite good though, quite streamlined, and really boxy arches as well, to give you that illusion that you're driving something capable of off-roading, when it's just an EV3. But yeah, I do think Kia have not only made a good job of designing this car, but pretty much all of their range. The Kia EV3 is built on the eGIMP platform. That's Kia talk for Electric Global Modular Platform. There's a choice of two batteries. There's the entry-level 58.3 kilowatt-hour battery, and also this, the long range, which is available on the entry-level Kia, obviously the Air, and that's 81.4 kilowatt-hours. I do think that's a really, really good battery pack. It's quite big. It weighs quite a bit, just under half a ton, weighing in at 470 kilograms. Obviously, the weight being quite low centre of gravity, it hides the weight pretty well. WLTP range actually of 375 miles. I do think it's pretty true to that claim actually, but we'll talk more about efficiency when we're on the road. But yeah, I do think it's a really good platform, to be honest. And Kia and Hyundai have been well renowned really for their, efficient motor and battery combinations really. They just seem to nail it all the time. The rear of the EV3 is also pretty nice too. Now you may be wondering, and Jacob mentioned this earlier on, Jacob is helping filming today. Give us a little wave. Actually, come on, show your face around the camera. This is Jacob who came on the road trip this year and last year. Here he is, he's helping today. Let's give credit to the cameraman. He mentioned, where is the rear windscreen wiper or the rear wiper? And I was like, very good question. Now, to help with aerodynamics and also other stuff, it does have a wiper, but the wiper is actually situated, hidden, just behind the wiper, or just behind the spoiler, sorry, up there, which is quite cool. Nice and hidden away, it keeps the design flowing nicely. But I do think as well, the rear design, it's quite bulbous. It almost looks a little bit like a marshmallow, a blue marshmallow. But it's a design that's modern, it's fresh, and I don't think it's going to age too much either. It's got a big boot. Let's have a look. I'll put some B-roll in as well so you can see a bit closer. Now I've got the capacity here exactly 460 litre boot with the seats up. If you put the seats down, you've then got 1250 litres, which is pretty good. You've got a false floor as well for, you know, stowing away your charging cables or your tyre mobility kit, whatever you want to put down there, out of sight, out of mind. You've got your little parcel shelf blind, which is nice as well. And you've also got something at the front as well. It's only got a frunk. Okay, let's open this up. 25 litres of frunk glory, or fruit, or whatever you want to call it, a front boot, front trunk, wherever you're from. Pretty bloody useless in my eyes, really, because what are you going to put in there? Let's be honest, it's also a bit of a faff. You get the latch from the interior and then you're greeted with this. Not much to see here. I mean, you could keep your Daniel Dry's book of notes in there and be done with it, but in my eyes, not really worth boasting about. Wow, isn't it beautiful today? I feel like I'm in a James Bond movie. We've come into the Peak District, actually, and a bit of context, it's actually taken us about 2 hours to find somewhere to film. We've been on a right adventure. There's been chickens in the road, sheep, farmers' gates, there's been all sorts. You having trouble with the wildlife?
Stand, drive, you idiot!
But we're here, we've made it. Now, some more specs from the book, Daniel Dry's book of notes. The price for this entry level with the long range battery on the road is just over £36,000. Quite a good, affordable price point for a new car. I know £36,000 is a hell of a lot of money for a lot of people, if you live a normal life, that is. But there's quite a few, you know, really tempting lease deals on these as well, and grants as well, government grants that might be available. So it's got a 201 brake horsepower, 150 kilowatt motor situated in the front. It's front wheel drive, and that gives you 283 newton meters of torque. Max speed, 105 miles per hour. It can do 0 to 62 in 7.7 seconds. Feels a lot quicker. You know, I always think 0 to 60 times and brake horsepower and stuff, it's not really worth talking about, because when you've got an EV with instant torque at your disposal, it feels a hell of a lot quicker, definitely. So charging, if you charge AC normal charging speed, which is 7 kilowatts on a home charger, you can expect a full charge in around 7 to 8 hours. Not too bad. And when you think off-peak charging at home, at my house anyway, on a cheaper tariff, costs about £4 or £5. Probably takes 2 nights-ish for a full charge. So you're looking at probably about £7 or £8 maybe for a full charge. And when you consider you're getting nearly 400 miles of range for that amount of money, it makes a lot of sense, definitely. A DC fast charge at 50 kilowatts will take 1 hour and 19 minutes. And if you're lucky, you get a fast charger, 350 kilowatts, will charge you from 10 to 80% in just 31 minutes. It's worth noting though that the max charging rate is just 127.5 kilowatts. Okay, let's climb aboard the EV3. Probably my favourite bit about this car actually is the interior, just because I think it's so well put together. It just all feels quality and well built. In my mind, Kia is kind of what Volkswagen used to be about sort of 10, 15 years ago in terms of its, you know, the quality of its products. It's genuinely really, really good. And this is the base model as well, and you're hardly lacking features, as I said earlier on. It's amazing, it really is. So you've got your drive selector sort of behind the steering wheel, kind of. In a Renault, you've probably got the multimedia buttons there, but here you've got the drive selector, which I think is a nice touch, and also the EV start button. So a fire into life, the automatic wipers have come on, which is a nice little feature, and it all fires into life. Turn the fans down. You've got physical toggles for your climate control, so you can adjust your temperature, mode, fan speed. We've also got your display there as well, and it's one really long display that kind of continues round, and you've got all your important drivey bits there in front of you, and then the infotainment. The infotainment is actually very good, and I wasn't expecting it to be, because I wasn't a big fan of the Insta's tech. I thought it was maybe a little bit complicated, maybe not as quick to respond, but this is really good. Now it has got haptic controls, but they feel pretty good. They're pretty confidence inspiring. And it's kind of like a loose panel here that's placed on the dashboard, and it kind of presses in to give you the illusion it's a button, but it's not. It's haptic feedback, which I think is a nice touch. So the screen is very responsive. You've got phone projection, you've got wireless and wired Apple CarPlay, YouTube as well, so you can watch some Daniel Dry's when you're charging maybe. You've got the weather, other amazing little features, which I'm sure you probably never use in the real world, but it's nice to have anyway. Satellite navigation, obviously as I mentioned, you've got your CarPlay and everything, and it's all just very easy to use. It really is. You've got your EV details here to tell you off if you're not being very efficient. You can do your battery conditioning. The list goes on really. It's the usual new car thing really. Anything you want a car to do, it will probably do it these days. Down here you've got your USB-Cs. I think you've got 2 USB-Cs in the front. You've got 2 in the rear, which I think is quite cool. What's this actually? Ah, here you go. There's a 12 volt. It's the first time I've done this actually. It's very good, isn't it? It's nice to have. You put your key there. You've got loads of space for your cup holders and stuff. This is a nice little detail. I put some B-roll on for this as well. The cup holders. You press these buttons and these kind of cup holder surrounds pop out with quite a lot of force, I must say. But these cup holders are pretty good. You've got a little kind of cubby hole here with your buttons here as well. You've got your reverse camera there, which is nice and nice and high quality. Parking sensor. I think it's like a hill descent mode, and auto hold as well, which is a great feature. Basically holds you when if you're going up or down a hill, like you're doing handbrake start. Now in the higher ranking models, the GT line and the GT line S, you've got a little table here, and I was kind of disappointed that this car, the Air, doesn't have it, because it's a nice little kind of chopping board or workstation, which basically means if you're on the road for business or busyness and you've got your laptop and you want to do some work while charging, you can put your laptop on this little table. And I just think it's a really nice feature that only a company like Kia or Hyundai would think of. It's very, very intelligent. Nice design steering wheel, kind of octagonal, like an Austin Allegro. This one's 2-spoke. You've got a button for your drive mode, so you go through a sport, my drive, which you can customize, snow mode, eco, and normal. And it basically changes some of the design on there as well. You've got your range and everything that comes up on the screen, trip. You've got a range guide as well, which shows you kind of your range potential depending on how you're driving. Telephone buttons, your regen paddles. It's just very, very good in here. And there's nothing that's annoyed me. Everything falls to hand well. It all feels quality. There's not a single rattle. You've got a heated steering wheel, which when it's a day like today, quite cold and quite gloomy, is lovely to have. You've got your buttons on the door as well. Put some B-roll in of those as well. Heated seats. It's just got absolutely everything, this car. Right, space in the back. This is the ultimate test. I am 6'2" in height. My driver's seat in front of me is in my driving position. Really is the ultimate test for these cars. And you know what? It's pretty good. It really is. I've got double camera view as well, which is quite nice, so you can see properly. My hair is brushing on the ceiling. Not such an issue. There is enough headroom. As I said, I am properly testing this car. Legroom's fine as well, to be honest. It's quite comfortable. This being an electric car, it's got no transmission tunnel, which means completely flat floor, which is ideal for your middle passenger. This being a 5-seater, obviously. It's all very good. You've got little USB-Cs in the seats as well, so for, your iPad kids can plug in their devices in the rear, which is quite nice. But I love the seat material. I really like that. Over the past few years, a lot of cars have gone from, really nice quality leather and everything to these materials, because I just think it just makes a car really cozy and really nice. And the seats are nice and squishy. It sounds silly to say, but really is really nice and comfortable back here. Now, a common discussion point when it comes to electric cars is, can they tow? Something the EV skeptics love to say on Facebook. And yes is the answer, but not a great deal. This EV3 with the bigger battery, the 81.4 kilowatt hour option, can tow up to 1 ton. So basically small trailers. If you want to tow something bigger, like a caravan, you should probably look at the EV9. Now, one thing I quite fancied when Kia gave me this car was the key. It sounds weird, but it's something that kind of represents so much about the car. I mean, if you've got a nice car key, it's something you can be proud of. It's the accessory that comes everywhere with you in your pocket, so you want it to look nice. And Kia have designed this key so it looks quite lovely. I'll come closer to the camera. Not something I usually do. But look at this key. Really quite nice. Sort of almost like a bathroom tile type of thing. But when you click the unlock button on the side, the actual Kia badge lights up green, which I think is a really nice touch. And it is worth mentioning, on the higher spec models, the GT Line and GT Line S, you can have a digital key. Okay then, let's hit the road in the Kia EV3. Now, electric cars as a whole, they're an absolute pleasure to drive, but this is taking that pleasure to the next level. It's so comfortable and feels so refined for the sector of car this is. When you consider this is a £36,000 car, compared to a lot of its rivals, this is amazing. It drives so well. So it's got McPherson multi-link suspension at the front and 5-arm multi-link suspension at the rear. And that suspension is really good. For British roads, with obviously riddled with potholes, it soaks them up really well. It comes from factory with 17-inch Kumo tyres. I believe on the higher spec models you're upgraded to 18-inch. But these 17-inch wheels with the Kumo tyres, it's just super quiet and super refined. And weirdly, for a car of this size and weight, obviously it weighs just under 2 tons, it's quite dynamic in a weird way. It feels good. It's not a Lotus. It doesn't handle as well as a Renault 5, which I reviewed back in May, but it does handle really well. We're in some really tight, narrow roads. We'll let this Renault Clio go, but if I knock the drive mode into sport, it's really responsive. Obviously 201 horsepower, it's going to be enough to keep, you know, that dad or mum happy who, you know, had to sacrifice their nice hot hatch when kids arrived. This is a really good car and it's a lot of fun. That instant torque is just addictive. And as I mentioned earlier on, you've got the all-important heated steering wheel, you've got your heated seats. What more could you want? Right, it's got an opportunity to test this. The EV3, it's got a 10.4 metre turning circle. It's not the best I've experienced, but it's still pretty good. Obviously you've got the motor in the front. I suppose on a rear wheel drive car, you'd have a lot more turning circle, but it's pretty good. And the steering is super light, it's easy to maneuver. You've got cameras as well, which help. Let's talk regen, a very big topic when it comes to electric cars. Regen is amazing. Once you get used to it, you struggle to live without it. You've got regen paddles on the steering wheel. You've got 3 levels. Obviously, you can have it off completely. You've got level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Level 3 being the strongest level of regen. You've also got automatic regen, which basically means if you set it for auto, if you lift off the throttle and the road ahead of you is clear, it won't regenerative brake. But if there's a van or a car ahead that's slowing down, it will then use the motor to slow you down, put in energy back into the battery. It's very intelligent. And I tried it on some A roads, and you know what? You can trust it. So let's talk efficiency. Obviously this weighs a bit, it's also a bit of a brick on the road, but it's pretty efficient. Hyundai and Kia seem to do efficiency rather well. The combined efficiency is around 4.2 kilowatt hour, or sorry, miles per kilowatt hour, I should get that right. And around the city, you can expect 5.5. Now, to translate that to maybe piston fans, petrol heads, you basically take that 5.5 figure and times it by the size of the battery. So in this case, 81.4, and that'll give you your predicted range. This bigger battery has a WLTP range of 375 miles. I'd say it's pretty true to that figure. My drive to Lake District proves that. It's pretty good. That was motorway driving as well. So I think you can trust the efficiency of this car. It's pretty good. It's got a good sound system, this car, as well. I mentioned earlier on in the interior section of this video, you have got wireless CarPlay and everything, but this is the standard Air model. You've just got the standard sound system. Now, if you upgrade to the higher ranking models like the GT Line S, you do get Harman Kardon. Now, we've got Harman Kardon in our family Megane E-Tech, and it's a very good system. So if it's anything like that, you're going to have a cracking time. Okay, it's time for our obligatory 0 to 60 test. This is not a performance vehicle, but this can do 0 to 60 miles per hour or 0 to 62 in 7.7 seconds. So let's see. Sport mode, what we're going to do is we're just going to plant the throttle. There we go. Nice little whiny noise from the motor. 47, 60. There you go. Time that, viewers. That's pretty good. That's all the power you'll ever need in the real world. EU safety regulations mean that a lot of modern cars have to have loads of safety technology. You just have to have it. Now, Renault have balanced that pretty well. You've got a button that you can press, which basically turns all of them off. This car is a little bit more complicated. I've set the star preset button so it goes to the safety, and you can scroll down and turn the lane assist off. But every time you turn the car back on again, that's going to reset and default to being on, which is not too good. Like it's flashing at me now for not looking at the road. I'm looking at the screen that Kia has provided me with, and the car tells me off. Every car's going to have it. It's just a shame. I can't really downgrade this car for that because it's an EU regulation. And I'll put a list on screen of all of the safety tech this car has. I mean, it's not recognised these birds in the road, so it's obviously not very good. And also, driving to the Lake District last Friday, there was a tyre blowout. There's a massive tyre in the road, and it failed to spot that. So when you really need this safety tech, can you rely on it? I just think, all in all, to conclude, when you compare today's crop of electric cars to the electric cars we had 10, maybe 15 years ago, my word, the technology really has advanced. Case in point with this car is really, really good. And I read reviews online before getting this car delivered, and I was kind of expecting good things, but seriously, I was not expecting it to be this good. It's just a normal family car. It's not trying to be anything special necessarily. I mean, I daily drive a Fiat Panda 100 HP and a BMW 325i. I am a petrol head, but I really believe you can love both piston cars and electric cars. And this is one of those electric cars I do really love just because it's such a pleasure to drive. It really is. Honestly, if you ever get an opportunity to drive one of these cars or any other Kia, maybe electric Kia, you're going to be surprised just how good they are. So there we have it, the all-new Kia EV3. I'd like to say a massive thank you to the guys and girls at Kia UK for lending me this car for the week. It's been an utter pleasure. And I do genuinely think, it's not just a title, I do think this is probably the most complete EV I have ever driven. It just feels so solid, comfortable, powerful. It's just a really good all-rounder really, and it looks good as well. And thankfully it's not in that really awful battleship grey, it's actually in a really characterful colour. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Would you have one of these Kia EV3s? Do let me know down in the comments. Or would you go for one of its rivals? Maybe another Kia or Hyundai, or maybe a Megane E-Tech, a review which you can see on the channel, or a Polestar or something. I'd be really interested to know. And remember to follow me on social media at DanielCars05, and I'll see you very soon. So I've whipped out, I won't say so again, I seem to start every piece of camera with so. I've whipped out the all-new Daniel Drives book of notes. Such an NPC. Yeah, me. What the bloody hell's he got on his back? He's got a fridge on his back or something. What the bloody hell? 4.2.
It's like the Mr. Bean thing.
Yeah.
What?
I think that's actually done.